While you were doing engineering, you started doing comedy, or was it just like one day done?
Anybody else, you emulate someone and eventually you find your own voice.
How are your parents feeling about this?
From core North Star comedically, Dave Chappelle. He was just trying stuff out. So I saw him as a man.
Welcome back to Success After Dark podcast. Today we got a special guest, my brother Abbas. Welcome on the pod, man.
Appreciate you having me on
Bro,
here,
Abbas, look, I've been following your journey for the past 2 years, and I asked you a question, and I said, "How long have you been doing this?" And you said 7 years. How old are you now?
31, turning
You're 31.
Yeah.
So you started when you were like almost like
25.
25.
Yeah.
So what's maybe number one? I want to hear your story. Because you were raised in the Middle. Well, you were born in the Middle East. 6 years in, you came to Canada. No.
Yeah. So I was born in Sudan. I moved to
yeah.
Oman when I was 3 and lived there till I was 6.
I
came
see.
to
So you
Canada.
tasted the Gulf countries. You had a little taste of Gulf countries.
Yes, sir. Little taste.
And you came to Canada. So what were you always funny, like as a young guy?
Well, it came to me. Nah.
Just one day.
By the way, you have the whitest teeth I've ever. Are your
Really?
teeth real?
Different.
How's that even possible? I think Kevin Hart's the only time. That's how you know you're killing it.
It's Kevin Hart money.
Bro,
So maybe
man,
one
if
day.
the lights went off, I'd just be like, bro, I can't open your mouth, man. Let's get out of here, dude. I was shooting the shit, because I was raised in a very disciplinary household. Academics come first.
That was gonna be my second question, but continue on, yeah.
Very disciplinary,
Yeah.
very academic. So it's like I couldn't really, I wasn't really myself. I was like two people.
Yeah.
At school, I was like, class clown, fucking
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
getting my attention, because at home I have to be like military quiet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, when I leave. So that's kind of how I came up. Got an engineering degree, like you.
You actually did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Look, I got the ring
Because
right here, bro.
typically, Sudanese typically go for the doctor stuff.
Yeah. It was one or two.
Yeah.
If you asked me when I was 10 or
Yeah.
11 or 12, I would be like, I don't want to be in school that long. It was, I don't want to be a doctor, so I'll be an engineer. That was my
see. That
mindset.
makes
It's
sense.
one of two, A or B. And I was like, doctor is school too long,
Yeah.
So I did engineering, and I worked in the States as an engineer for 3 years.
Wow.
Automotive in the Detroit area, and then
Okay.
Silicon Valley for like a year.
Wow. Did you feel out of line working there, or did you just feel like, this is not my calling, man? I can't do it for the rest of my life.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
at one point, but not at the beginning.
Okay.
Because I didn't like school at all, but in my mind, I was like, when I make money, then I'll be happy.
yeah.
When I make money.
Yeah.
This school sucks. I didn't know. I was like, no one likes school.
You
And then
studied here?
Yeah, at
Which-
Waterloo for
Waterloo,
engineering.
okay,
Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, no one likes school.
Yeah. I mean,
Who likes school, right? And then there's
know
people
some
around
geeks.
me. There's
I know
people around
some
me who
geeks.
love school.
Yeah.
They were on the right thing.
Yeah. I couldn't finish school, bro.
No, I know, and I
Yeah.
respect it. On one level, I'm like, oh man, if I just left, then I spent 8 years, 5 years in school. It's a
Yeah.
5-year
Yeah,
program,
yeah,
and then 3 years doing it. So 8 years.
8 years.
And then just being like, down the toilet, let's go in another direction. But had I not seen it and done it, then I wouldn't have been able to go fully convicted in this
I
road.
was about to say, that was.
Cool. I'd be like dilly-dallying. I see people around me like, they think that like, if you just get, like I tell them, I used to make like a nice salary. And they're like, how? I'm like, if you hate what you do, if you hate
Doesn't
waking
matter,
up, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
you blowing it as fast as possible.
It's true.
Just to feel something, right? You're like, I spent 50 hours a week doing this. I got to spend it.
Yeah. Did you take the easy route, not the easy route, the safe route, where while you're doing engineering, you started doing comedy, or was it just like one day done?
Not at all. No comedy. I used to watch stand-up every day for even in high school.
Yeah.
Every day. I love stand. I was obsessed. Dave
One of
Chappelle.
the questions. One of the questions is who's gonna be your favorite? But okay.
Yeah,
I'm
like
listening.
in grade when I was like 10, grade 5.
Yeah.
They just called me Chappelle because I would just do Chappelle show.
Really?
I would do all at recess. I would do all of the Chappelle show skits back. I had everything memorized, right?
Yeah.
But in my mind, I had that the immigrant mindset
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
my mind did not connect the dots that I could possibly make a living doing an art. That was not a thing. It's you either do
We're not raised
doctor
like that. Yeah.
or engineer, or if you fail, you do business or lawyer. Right? right?
That'll be the last step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to bring shame to
Yeah.
the family, but it's acceptable.
I'm definitely shameful for
yeah.
my family.
I mean, yeah. Look around, but still. So it was only after finishing school, making money.
Okay.
You know, I was like, yeah, you know, like. I went to BMW. I ordered a 435. I was like, make it blue. Give me the beige
Give me
interior.
all the options.
Give me all the options. I got it in my own place. I put art up. I'm like, yeah, I'm an adult. I have money. Yeah. And then like within a year, it feels nothing. Because
Yeah, of course.
5 days a week, I'm
Yeah.
doing something. And the place I worked, good people, fine job. You know what I mean? And I skipped all the engineering stuff. I went straight to program manager just because I had a connection and I could speak and I could I could speak. It's the job is all emails and talking.
Okay, I see.
So I got a
You
job
do have
that
a
mostly
talent in
40-year-olds.
communication, bro. I noticed that as soon as we walked in. But continue on.
Thank you. I was like, where's the bathroom? Thank you, sir. Looked you right in the eye.
No, after.
Terrific teeth, Rakan. But the job was great. There was nothing wrong with the job, but it was just not for me.
Yeah.
So after like a year 2, now I'm like dying. I'm like existentially, I'm depressed. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
And it's only at that point after like I got everything I wanted, it did nothing for me. It all went away.
Yeah.
It all fell apart.
Yeah.
That I was like, wait, what? And I'm still watching stand-up every day. It's been 12, 14, 15 years. Every day I watch stand-up. I'm like, and then it clicked at that point. I'm like, wait, why? Why can't I do it? Why can't I do it? And then a crazy story happened where this was June of 2016.
Okay.
I'm like, why can't I do it? No, it's not. Then I'm like, you know what? Where are open mics? Okay, right here, Ferndale, Michigan. It's near my house, Mondays. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go. But no, I need to write first. So I spend months being like, it has to be perfect before I go. Fear.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I go visit my friend who was in NYU for dentistry at the time.
Okay.
And we go to the cellar. I've gone to New York a bunch of times. Every time I go to the cellar.
Yeah.
And this time, coincidentally, who comes in? It's 2 days before Trump gets elected. Dave Chappelle walks in, just surprise walk in.
Holy.
He's hit there to practice his SNL monologue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, I needed to pee, so I crossed the room. I noticed that he was fucking around with everybody. Cause first of all, I saw him as a god, right?
Yeah, of course.
And on that night, he was just trying stuff out. So I saw him as a man.
Holy shit.
So now it's like that thing in my head. I was like, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. These guys, they're born special. I'm just some Sudani guy here, an engineer. These guys are born great.
Yeah.
And then that night, I saw that he's just a man. He's just trying stuff out. Everything I saw that up until that point was polished. So now I realize, like I go to the bathroom. He goes, oh, what's going on, man? I'm like, you know what I mean? And then I realized when I was peeing in the bathroom, I'm like,
stutter?
Yeah, I did. In my mind, my plan was I'm gonna walk up, he's gonna do crowd work with me, I'm gonna say something, make the whole club laugh. That was my mind.
The game plan.
And then he goes, what's up, man? And I go, nothing, how about you? I was just starstruck, right? And he goes, see, Black Lives do matter. This is when Black Lives Matter just started mattering. Yeah. So I'm peeing in the bathroom. I'm like, if there's such a thing as a sign,
I need
the sign.
Yeah.
This is the sign. As soon as I got back to Michigan, I went to my first open mic, and
that's cool.
The rest is history.
And you took it.
And then I went 1 week, and then after that, I was like, you know what? Screw Michigan. Let's go to California. And then when I was in San Francisco, like in the Silicon Valley space, I was working at a startup, and every day I would leave the startup, drive straight into the city, do open mics all night, 5 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, except for Friday. There's really no open mics on Friday. Yeah. But and then I did that until I was like, pretty much, I was on a shitty job. I demanded to be taken off of this, like, I worked for kind of like a consultancy, we'll say. Yeah. And I was on a shitty client that kept sending me to China. I would do open mics in China. And like in Shanghai, right? In English. Just don't talk about the leader. Don't do anything else. Yeah. Talk about mangoes, not the leader. But I'm there. They keep throwing me. They're not listening to me. I'm like, take me off of this client. They didn't have another client to put me on, so just let go of me. And I was like, this is my opportunity to go back. Because I'm on a visa in the States. Yeah. You got to be employed.
Yeah, you have to be employed.
As soon as I go back, I'm like, man, let's move to Toronto and let's just focus on
Your family's here?
My family's in London, Ontario. London, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
High school, grade school.
I see.
I'm not going to lie. I came back. I worked at a friend's business, his older brother's business, for 6 months. Just long enough to get EI. As soon as I qualified for EI, quit or had them lay me off. Peace, dipped to Toronto. and they gave me like my runway, and this is just doing random jobs, and I've just been out here grinding ever since.
That's amazing, man. And I mentioned to you, I'm like, I need to. I don't think I'll take it as a career, but I would love to try it. And where would be an open mic here?
Every night there's open mics. There are bars.
Yeah,
there are bars, random bars.
just random bars.
Random bars, yeah. You know, it's funny. There's one actually kind of nearby here, Canvas Art Bar. You know, on Port Credit, but it just got shut down because of a murder. So
Nice.
So that one's out.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm glad I don't have to go throw jokes
the
there.
murder place. Yeah, they don't like bad
I
jokes,
gotta
bro. One guy
Imagine
bombed.
I
He
say
got
a bad
killed.
joke,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Somebody just like.
Yeah, last shitty comic.
What's a situation when you are, because you do a lot of crowd work. I saw a video the other day. You were like roasting somebody, bro, and then you told him something about sex predator or something. But this is what I love, bro. If I ever do comedy, it'll be a mix of crowd work and it'll be a mix of like, here's a couple stories. It's a lot of Arab stories have to be involved in
Still,
the jokes.
it's authentic to you.
But which is a time where you've had like the weirdest interaction with somebody in the crowd? Do you remember any such?
One time, right before COVID, I had a lady come up to me after the show. She was like, "You look like a black guy with good credit." I'm like, "What the fuck? Is this what you do?" I was like, I didn't know what to say. Yeah, so of course it was a white lady. And
Trying
I
to
just
be
didn't know what
racist
to
without
say.
being racist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's the most racist, non-racist
Unracist
compliment.
things. Thank you.
I'm confused as shit. I need to do math right now just to figure out how I feel about that.
So your favorite?
Another show, someone had a stroke right as the show started.
Oh, before the jokes.
No. After the jokes, I
Okay.
get on stage.
That's a good
someone
sign,
has
bro.
a stroke. They stop the show. Ambulance comes, takes them away. They reset the show. The host comes back out, and then I go back out and I start talking about the stroke, and everyone's like, they all got quiet. I'm like, what do you think? I'm not gonna acknowledge that someone paramedics just came and took him? You think no one's gonna acknowledge that?
That's so funny, man. I love comedy, and every single one you've mentioned, I've watched a lot of their content. One of my recent favorites is Andrew Schultz.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a different type of guy, man. And I bought when he came to Toronto, I bought his VIP tickets, and I was there, and I'm like, this guy is funny. And the cool thing about Andrew Schultz, man, he's so knowledgeable about countries, about people, about culture, like. And I've noticed the same thing about you. Like, I saw a couple of your clips where you can really relate to the audience, even if you're not from there. Like, for me, I can. When I'm public speaking, if I crack a joke, typically it's an Arab joke.
Yeah.
Right? Very hard for me to crack a black joke.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And because in the Arab joke, and people will laugh because, everybody knows the typical hysterical Arab Habibi stuff.
Yeah.
And then one of my business partners is black. So, of course, he's on stage cracking black jokes.
Yeah.
Right? And we're business people. We shouldn't be cracking jokes at all. But it's just, I've
That's why you're
learned from
successful,
him.
though.
But I learned from him because he's a charismatic guy, bro. I get you to meet him. Charismatic guy. He can switch like on and off how serious he is in a conversation, or especially in front of an audience. But he cracks a lot of jokes. And Andrew Schultz is definitely one of my favorites. But for you, you said Dave Chappelle.
Absolutely.
Who do you think
Schultz is up there right now for me.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm a big fan. It's a funny story about Schultz. I watched him come to Toronto. Maybe it was, I forget if it was like 2022 or 2020, or it was right before COVID. The point is, I thought he was like a marketing genius and a good comic.
Yeah.
And I went and saw him live, and I realized he's a great comic.
Wow.
In my mind, I was like, this guy's, because there's a rule in the game, kind of like you can
Okay.
market or be really good.
Huh.
Not a lot of people are both. So it's trying to break into.
I
and-
agree.
And I found out
There's
this
not
guy
many
is
people-
both. He's
there's-
one of those unicorns that's
Yeah.
an
Can
like
do both.
Kevin Hart, another example.
Hart is just a
amazing at
genius,
marketing
bro.
himself.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap.
Yeah.
When you go, come see me that night, some people go,
Yeah.
somehow he does it. And Schultz,
In
these
a
guys,
way,
they do it in a
bro.
way where it's not cheesy, it's not
Yeah.
fake, it's still sincere,
Yeah.
and it's funny. So trying to, and I don't even know if you can even figure it out. Like, I'm trying to figure out what even that is, but it might just be an essence you're born with.
I don't think
know.
so, bro. I think marketing is a way to, because I was never a marketing kid, and that's what I do for a living. Technically, I'm a marketer, and I've had to learn marketing over time. trials and errors. I watch what other I'm very good at watching other industries and taking that. Like a funny story, I watch how Andrew Schultz promoted his, because something happened with his thing where
They tried to take his jokes out, and he put it out himself.
and then he put it out himself. Yeah. But
the way he rolled it out was incredible.
Before he rolled it out, such a genius way. So he took control of a bad situation, and I'm pretty sure he made some money out of that, bro. Because he was selling it for. He said, I remember watching something.
He made millions off it.
Couple million dollars.
For sure. He rolled it out almost like a politician does a campaign. It's high level shit.
High level shit for sure.
And even if you watch it on YouTube, it's promoted by like casino or something, some big casino,
Crazy, man.
or some gambling site.
Yeah.
Promote. So he got a huge, and it's built right into it. It's not a YouTube ad.
It's like inside the
wow. In it.
Because I was on tour and I actually bought it. I think I was in Dubai and I bought it, and there was one night where I was just watching it and cracking.
Yeah.
He's
high
really
level.
good.
He's definitely high level.
Who do you so in business, I have in my head like couple guys that I'm like I'm a protege of 3 people. Right? Like I'll take this guy, this guy, this guy. This guy's great at sales, this guy's great at marketing, this guy I guess is great at personality. I'll mix and I'll have the Rakan that people see right now. Who do you have?
From core North Star comedically, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
That is, I've just kind of been emulating. Like anybody else, you emulate someone and eventually you find your own voice in the efforts of emulating.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. I'm a big fan of Burr, Louis, all these guys. Yeah. But Sebastian Maniscalco, I'm a big fan from a performance standpoint.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, I went and saw him.
The Italian guy, right?
The Italian guy,
yeah. He cracks a lot of Italian jokes.
Absolutely. He leans into his culture,
his
right?
culture, yeah.
And there's not a lot of people that are very enjoyable to watch and 20,000-seater. You know? A lot of people are hilarious, but you're just listening to their jokes with 20,000 people around you. Whereas Sebastian, you're looking at the Jumbotron. Everything is a show. So from the performance physicality, Sebastian. But from the packaging, marketing, content, Schultz is the North Star. If you see my podcast, The Immigrant Section, which I just ended, the way I did the thumbnails, the way I did the cutaways, the way I did the intros, the way I would try to do the promos, everything I was copying and pasting off of him for like years. He laid out the blueprint
because he has it with Akash. What's his name?
Akash Singh. Yeah. And he's
has a good guy. I like him too.
Akash
he's
is
not
great.
I think Schultz is way funnier in
of
my
course.
head.
Yeah, of course.
But Akash is good, especially when he was cracking.
If Akash was incredible, he would have broken away and done his own thing. Like he would have done the Justin Timberlake from NSYNC type shit.
Yeah.
But it's a good comp. But here's the thing. Collectively, you create something bigger than yourself. You know? And that's what I learned because I was trying to do a Joe Rogan podcast. The Immigrant Section, I just finished 200 episodes.
Wow.
I was just trying to make a Joe Rogan. 4 years, once a week.
Okay. Wow.
Did it myself. Everything was covered myself.
Is it all? Did you? Because I checked it. A lot of the times you have guest speakers. Did you have solo sessions some of the times?
I do. I have a Patreon that I do my solo stuff like once a week, but I never did a solo session besides really the final episode to kind of like address the people directly. But it was always guest based, and you know the game. Guest flop.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, yo, 200 people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people that flop. That's a lot of like, yo, you cleared out your afternoon. I was supposed to do something with my girl, and now I can't because I'm like, yo, I got someone coming. I got a bottle of water. An hour later, some people go, yo, I can't make it. Some people just disappear. They just don't say nothing. 3 days later, man, anxiety, shut the fuck up, bro. Don't tell me anxiety. Man, would you fuck off? Like, I have anxiety too, but I would never do that to someone. Like, you just fucked up their afternoon like that.
Wasting somebody's time, man.
And it's in my house.
Oh, you actually do it at your place?
I have a 2-bedroom place. Okay. My 1 bedroom is just a studio. So it's like
cool.
So now, my next project is gonna be kind of like a flagrant vibe.
Yeah.
Where you have we have a standard co-host and a producer, and we'll bring in everybody every now and then. Yeah. But I want to have a core unit that you tune into once a week to see what these guys have to say about whatever's happening in the world.
Yeah. And I like that. I really like that because I watched the Flagrant and they have these guests and stuff. I remember, speaking of Sebastian was on Logan's Paul podcast. Mm-hmm.
Sebastian's not the best podcast guest, though. He's too dry.
Yeah, he's too dry. But I'm just noticed he has, I feel like, different personalities.
Yes.
Like he has a stage
magnified,
aura, and then Sebastian.
Yes.
Like, so on the podcast, he was Sebastian. I'm looking like, there's no way this is the same
You
guy.
thought it was gonna be like no.
Like in my head,
Opposite.
he's gonna, like he was cracking jokes and he's
Yeah.
a still funny guy, but he was not that
No.
guy.
No.
Do you feel like, are you the same thing? Are you, because I just, we saw each other for a couple of minutes, but I feel like you're somewhat the same.
The gap between myself on stage and in reality is less of a gap than Sebastian, but there's still a gap.
There's still, like,
because when you get in front of people,
Yeah.
you're in show mode, right?
Yeah.
You're in show mode. So it's like, and I'm like I said, I think I'm a little bit between like the Chappelle, which is kind of like, I don't want to necessarily be thought provoking, but I think I don't just say like, I'm not going to just make shit jokes, but I have some shit jokes. I have nothing against shit jokes, but because I grew up listening to so many of these people, Carlins, priors, who are trying to make a point, I kind of have it in the back of my head, like, if a joke is funny, but it's like, what am I saying? It falls down the list of what I want to present. And at the same time, you're watching me. I want it to be a show. A lot of hilarious comedians are hilarious, but they stand on the mic and they say hilarious jokes. They're great writers.
Yeah.
But it's like, you got an audience in front of you.
entertainment
I'm here for a show.
Yeah, you're here for a show.
That's like, I could have got the exact same experience listening to your album in my car.
I see.
want a
I want
visual
a
aspect
visual.
to it.
Yeah.
But I've always been animated, so like, my hands are moving a little bit right now, but I up it. It's on steroids.
So here's my question for you. So if you've done comedy for 7 years, I'm guessing the first couple of years you were still kind of figuring, like, for me, public speaking wise, I've done public speaking for 5 years now. My first, I would say 3 years, I was mimicking people. Like, I was mimicking my business partner, and remember, like, he's black, so I'm mimicking a lot of black jokes too on stage.
You're like, you know how niggas be like, damn.
That was not like
the Rakan said, nigga. Yeah, you know how niggas be late, right?
But and then, bro, I tried to kind of figure out, and then at one point in my career, I was like a very high beat, energized, like go just rah on stage. Recently, I'm like more of, I can toot it up and down depending on the situation in front of me, right? When do you feel like you as a comedian and somebody that's putting on a show, when do you feel like you got to a point where I see my rhythm right now? Was it after 1 year? Was it right away? Because I know some public speakers, just godly, naturally good, bro. Like, they just on stage
charisma.
Yeah, they just have something. They got to tweak words and but for me, it took some time to find who I am, I guess, on stage.
It's an ongoing effort, man.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing effort. Like, right now, I have a rhythm, but tomorrow I might have a set where I feel like I just started all over again. It's you get your wins and losses all the time, So something I noticed is that, I'm very animated, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I would perform on a very small stage, physically very small.
Yeah.
That
So
didn't let me move a lot. And some of my jokes didn't work. So I realized that the laugh was the physicality. So it's these moments that make you realize, like, I got to make it funny without moving. And then when I move, it goes to the next level, right? So you realize that sometimes you put yourself in a box. I didn't even know I was. I didn't realize how small the stage. Like, I'm going to fall if I do this bit. I'm going to fall off the stage. So I can't. And now it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, shit. Okay, now I got to go back to the drawing boards on this one, on that one. Right?
Because are you always tweaking your...
Constantly. And, like, I'm dropping stuff and I'm picking stuff up. And Bill Burr said that it takes 15 years of comedy to be funny on stage the exact way you're funny in front of your friends. Because that's what you're trying to get to. You try that the way you cracked all your friends up since day one.
1.5. That's a lot of years.
So I'm halfway. So it's like an ongoing process. 7 years in comedy.
Yeah.
They say it's like a 7-year-old.
You're still like a newbie.
A 7-year-old.
Wow. How long has Schultz been doing this then? I know Chappelle has been doing this forever.
Yeah, Schultz is probably like 18.
18 years.
18 years. Chappelle's like 1/8. Yes.
Wow.
Chappelle Schultz is almost 40, and he got in when he was young.
I don't know why, bro. In my head, he's like a newbie.
Because he looks really young. No.
He does look a little young.
Yeah. The first time he did Rogan, he was doing the game like 13 years. I think he's probably 16, 17 years at this point.
Wow.
But yeah, man, some people get to an amazing level early, and some people really, they really shine with age, like well-aged, like a whiskey or something.
Who do I believe shine? I mean, majority of the people that we know, or I guess the comedians that I know, kind of shined with age. Kevin Hart was my first ever. I want to watch him forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was the first ever show that I ever attended in Canada. I was new in Canada. This is 2014, I believe, or 2015. One of the years he came.
Yeah.
Is my first time ever watching a comedian like live.
How was it?
Bro, Kevin Hart. Like,
see, what people don't realize is the first time Kevin Hart's special took off, it was either Grown Little Man or Seriously Funny. I forget.
yeah.
But he was 30. He was 29, and he got in the game when he was 18.
Yeah.
So you're talking
12 years.
It looks overnight,
yeah.
but it's over a decade
Over
of
a
doing
decade
it
of
every
doing
night.
yeah.
Right?
And bro, like I just admire, because I'm in the public speaking space, I admire somebody that can go up on stage, confidently make people joke. I just, here's my philosophy. In my head, a comedian has 10 times worse of a job than a public speaker. Because for me as a public speaker, I have to let's just say I'm talking about marketing, or I'm talking about social media, or I'm talking about whatever, tips in business. A lot of the public speakers, they're gonna go have a slide 1, 2, 3. It's a standard. You want to learn, you learn. You don't want to learn, F off. A comedian, bro, there's no F off. You have, like, it's a part of it's a part of your success to really make sure people are laughing and enjoying and putting on the show, and your mind is managing like 10,000 things all at once. So I just think that's a skill set, man. That's so powerful.
Yeah, and I've never heard of a public speaker getting booed off stage. You know what I mean?
That is
It
true.
happens to comedians.
You ever watched that?
I've been booed off stage by a sold out crowd
Really?
of 300. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
What'd you say so bad?
Huh?
What'd you say that was
Have you ever nothing? It was like, do you know the Apollo Theater in like Harlem? What it's known for? You know, Chris Rock and all these guys.
Yeah.
How they came up? There's a theater in Harlem called the Apollo Theater, which
Okay.
is notoriously like aggressive in its treatment to bad comedy, fresh comics, afraid comics, so to speak. Like people who have not matured, who don't have.
I know
the
the
confidence.
theater. I just didn't know this.
It's called the Apollo Theater.
Apollo
Booed
Theater.
off. Toronto has their own version run by like one of the Canadian legends named Kenny Robinson. It's called the Nubian Show at Yuck Yucks the last Sunday of every month.
Okay.
You should go check it out when you get a chance. The last Sunday of every month at Yuck Yucks.
Which is
the Nubian. It just happened this past Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But the first time I did it, I was 3 years into comedy.
Yeah.
And I got booed off stage.
Wow.
Near the end of my set, I'll say
Yeah.
that. But still, I was like very afraid because it's like a urban
course,
audience.
bro,
And
yeah.
like, I remember the host being like, do not accept mediocre comedy. If you do not like it, let them know. I was like, it was like dropping the blood to the sharks.
I'll go at the end of next month then.
You'll
I'm
enjoy it,
gonna-
man. You'll
I'm
enjoy
gonna-
it. You don't really see booze that much.
Okay, no more.
Yeah.
Canadians are so nice, bro. America though, they'll rip somebody
No,
apart, no
but
problem.
but this is a historically Jamaican audience.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
it's a Caribbean
somebody
audience.
will get the people.
Not
will get
every
booed
not
off,
every
yeah.
week. In fact, I've never seen someone booed there since I was booed. I never saw boo.
Nice.
I know they boo.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing. They
But
will
you've never
boo.
seen
I
it.
never saw it. I got
Okay.
booed. I never saw someone else get booed. But it was like a boo boo.
Wow.
Yeah. But so that terrible feeling, Chappelle had it too, and he talks about it inside the actor's studio, and he's just talking about like it broke me at the time. But I
Yeah.
got up on stage the very next day. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, this isn't for me.
But,
But I was
just,
so
like,
embarrassed and
yeah.
like I have it on video still till this day.
Wow.
But
would you ever release it?
yeah, absolutely. like after like
5 more years.
yeah, exactly. Once I put out like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
amazing, my
Like-
first amazing.
Like, let me
piece
show
of
you
work.
guys when I got bored of it. Like,
Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely, but not yet. It's too close. But yeah, it's so scary. Like I never want that to happen.
Yeah.
And now I realize because I went back and I did the show and I had a terrific set.
Yeah.
So and it was in my head like this. It was like a bully, like someone who bullied you years ago.
And then now
And
you're
now
just
you're in your head
became-
like I'm going to see them. Oh my god, there's so much fear.
Yeah.
And then you kind of beat them.
Yeah.
And then you have this whole fear removed off your shoulders. But
I like
yeah,
that.
man, it makes
I
you
like
grow,
that.
man.
Yeah. So I have 2 things before we end this convo because I have really important questions. Now, I don't know if you've been asked this before, but comedy and politics has been in an interesting touch lately with what's happening with Chappelle and
The trans community and
yeah,
stuff like that, yeah.
And it because to me, comedy is comedy. Like if I see a guy go on a stage and talk about Arabs being terrorists, I'd laugh. I think it's like a funny
If it's
joke.
funny.
Yeah, if it's funny, like. But Dave is funny, bro. Like I think no matter
He's
what
a different
he says,
level.
He's a different level.
He's a different
of funny,
level. He almost transcends comedy in a weird
But
way.
do you feel like more comedians are being afraid to really crack the jokes that they want because of the backlash of the cancel culture?
I don't
do you
think
feel
so.
like people just don't care at this point?
No, I don't think so. I think the best thing that could happen to a comedian is getting canceled. Yeah, because look at Shane Gillis as an example. I don't know if you've heard that name. He was a comedian, white comedian, came up from Philly, really funny guy, gets added to SNL.
Yeah.
And loses his job within like a day or two because some asshole loser online went and dug into his podcast. Okay. And years ago, he did some Asian accent. Oh, me go did the what? Like it was like the whole episode was It wasn't like at a malice or like deeply hateful. Yeah, it's just trying to be funny. And SNL dropped him immediately.
Wow.
But at the same time, now I get a headline in front of me about a comedian that I never heard of. SNL drops comedian Shane Gillis over Asian remarks. I'm like, Shane Gillis. Google Shane Gillis. It made his career.
Wow.
It made his career after that.
So you think the best thing that can happen to a comedian is...
unless what you did as
really
like Kramer. Like, like, do you see the Kramer video in Laugh Factory?
I didn't see...
Like Kramer from Seinfeld? Did you ever watch the show Seinfeld?
No.
There's a really popular character, Michael Richards, in there. His name is Kramer in the show. He was like high on coke in the Laugh Factory in L.A. and dropped the N-bomb 10 times out of anger at some black guys. Out of truly anger. It was on video.
Like, not even funny.
No.
Just...
It canceled him. It canceled him in a way.
That's
in an unrecoverable way.
Yeah.
So that's like canceling. That's
but
like
if you're being funny...
Yeah, or attempting to be funny. Like you can feel when there's hate in your heart. You can feel it.
You know who I saw? This is maybe the past month or two. Matt Rife, you know him?
Yeah. He's been in the game he looks really young, but he's been in the game over 10 years too.
Really?
Yeah, he started when he was like 15 or 16.
It's funny. His joke is like, I this just happened. And he's like a good-looking guy, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good-looking kid. And I think recently he's getting some backlash about something he said, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, backlash is the best thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Have you got backlash on like?
No, I'm waiting for it. I'm saying crazier shit. Yeah, I'm just no context. I'm dropping it. Just you know what I mean? I don't like Singaporean people. I think they smell bad.
Nice.
I think they stink and are untrustworthy.
I will make sure.
Make my career someone. Singapore. I can't chew gum. Arrest him. I don't know. But like I don't have an agenda.
Yeah.
When I go up, I just want to like talk. Like for instance, yesterday I was trying to fucking shave my beard. I tried to get too cute with it. Fucked up. Had to go with the goatee. No one trusts the goatee, bro. No one trusts the goatee, bro. I went up to my dog.
Where did that saying come from, bro?
Yeah, I went up to my dog. I'm like, hey, buddy. He's like, I'm not trying to buy anything, bro. He's like, I don't need a used Ford Ranger. I'm like, hey, man, come on. Don't be mad when you come back and it's gone, bro. But like, a goatee is sleazy,
Yeah.
So just talking about like, sometimes shit just happens and you talk about it. It used to be like I have a plan and I stick to the plan.
Yeah.
And the longer you stay in it, you just try to like
just
talk about what you're actually thinking, what you actually feel, instead of being like, these are the prepared things that will go.
Yeah.
Like even if what I'm saying right now isn't exactly as funny, it doesn't hit the exact level of laughs as this thing, at least it's true to how I feel right now. There's a different energy to it.
I like that.
Yeah.
So where do you feel like the end goal would it be a Chappelle at one point? Is it Netflix? Is it like an Andrew Schultz game? Is it like?
But Andrew Schultz on Netflix too.
Is he?
Yeah, his Make America something like he did over there.
Is it like a Kevin Hart where he's created this whole company like he's just doing?
He's like the Jay-Z of comedy.
He's literally doing everything.
He's the Jay-Z.
I don't know anything that he's not doing.
That's too much.
Like from being
he's a conglomerate. He's he's everything.
Yeah.
He's like
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
I was watching him and what's his name? Logan Paul. In the when they sit in the ice bath or whatever.
Ice bath conversations or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, yo, this guy really does everything.
It's too much, man.
Yeah, I
it's
think
too
it's-
much
But I
because
feel like you get to a point where, I guess, because I don't think he was doing that in the early stages. He was just focused on comedy, and he did so well in comedy, and he's like, yo, let me just.
no, he was grinding from the get go.
Yeah.
He was grinding. He was acting classes, auditions, everything. He's been grinding from the get go. He's at that I'm gonna make it to the top mentality way before we.
You know,
knew
the
his name.
first time I saw Kevin Hart was this music video for. What is it called? Laid Back. What is it called? The song.
by Fat Joe.
Fat Joe.
Lean
yeah.
Back.
Yeah, Lean Back.
He's in
That's
it?
the first. Yeah.
He's in that music
Yes,
video.
bro.
No way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was, bro. This is Saudi days.
Yeah.
Like we were
Oh, of
watching
course.
this video.
Everyone's passing the DVD around.
It was
Yeah.
a CD.
It's a CD, yeah,
Like the whole crew is sending
Yeah.
CDs. And bro, this is the first time I ever saw Kevin Hart because I saw, and then I started seeing him after, and then I really fell in love with his comedy when
His
he
vibes.
came to Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of Arab comedians?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like you're talking about
I
like
know-
high level or talking about local?
High level.
Yeah, like Mo Amer, Ahmed
Yeah, Mo
Ahmed.
Amer is funny. He has this
Mo
Netflix
Jabrani,
thingy.
Maz Jabrani rather.
Maz Jabrani.
He's
yeah.
Irani, yeah.
Maz Jabrani.
Mo Amer, his show is amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mo's killing it.
Mo is definitely up there.
Rami, I haven't seen a stand up, but
Rami who?
what was his last name? Yusuf? You know, he has the show, Rami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a stand up too.
I
Yeah, there's a lot of guys right
Would
now.
you be able to do a stand up in Arabic?
like
You ever tried?
Sudani style?
I mean, yeah.
في واحد
يا زول.
yeah, exactly. Sudani jokes are always like في واحد في واحد جاء في المواصلات وقال له ايه ابو صلعه راسك وين? Like it's always like
Yeah.
it's always like there's a guy with a big head. No, there was a guy, his eyes were so big. There was a guy, his arm was so long. It's always like a limb. They're all like one-liners. But I eventually I have that goal in the future to
Arabic.
in Sudan specifically.
In Sudan,
In
okay.
Sudan
I
specifically.
think it'd be funny
100%.
all over the Arab world, bro.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
trying to go and line up something in Dubai.
Yeah. I when is that?
No, I'm looking to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I had
I
one
think
guy who's a comedian that told me to come out and he'll line something up.
I'm with that 1,000%.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
man! Because I grew up with so many Lebanese people. I know Lebanese think they invented everything,
Bro.
right? They think they
Lebanese
invented
don't even
everything.
think they're Arabs. Do you
Yeah,
realize
of course.
that,
We're higher, man. We're like Swiss of the Arab. Wallahi, Swiss of the Arab, bro. Look, my eyes orange. we invented eyes. And then I have so many Iraqi friends, Palestinian friends, Syrians. Like, I know the whole game. You know what I mean? And everyone's got their own little thing. Turkish friends,
Yeah.
a lot of African friends, but especially from engineering school,
Yeah.
you have all these people. And from London, Ontario,
Yeah.
huge Iraqi,
Oh,
Lebanese,
all the
Palestinian.
Arabs,
They're
bro.
all there.
All the
Yeah, this
Arabs,
is why
bro.
we touch base. Yeah.
Everybody
What's
meets
the most
Ottawa or
Arab
London?
outside of Africa and Middle East? London, Ontario, and Dearborn, Michigan. That's it. So yeah, I think I would, and I'm trying
I
to line
love
it up
that.
for the future.
I
I'm
love
excited for that.
Here's my last question for you. So how are your parents feeling about this?
Now it's fine. You know,
Okay.
at the beginning it was odd, especially when I
Was
left
there
engineering.
like
Yeah, I tell a story how when I got into comedy, I also got into acting because they tell you to do both. Right?
Okay, I see.
And my mom, they're like, "What are you doing? This? He lost his mind. This and that. He lost his mind. You know."
غسلوا مخه.
Yeah, exactly. But then 2 years into like my open mic career
Yeah.
here in like 2019,
Okay.
or 2018 actually, I booked a McDonald's billboard. Just it's nothing to do with your talent.
Yeah.
It's just me taking a bite into a spicy sandwich. But the billboard went all over Canada.
Wow.
Now I made it. Okay. Now that all
My
the questions,
son,
as long
I've
as they
always
have,
believed in him.
as long as they have something to point at to their friends, then that's it. That's
Look at
all
my
it
son.
takes.
I raised him to be like this.
Yeah, exactly. And I told them eat burger every day. Every day, eat the spicy sandwich.
Do you visit your parents often? Like, how's your relationship with
Yeah, like I'm in London, Ontario. Yeah. So like twice a month I go down.
them? Okay.
Yeah, actually I'm overdue right now. My mechanic's there. I got a lot of car issues. My mechanic's right next to the house, so it doubles up perfect.
I love that, man. Well, bro, like, first of all, I appreciate your time for coming here.
Thank you for
Second
having
of
me,
all,
man.
bro, you are. I think you don't know how talented you are. I one thing a lot of people compliment me in business that I observe things, and I can read people even if I don't talk to them. And I feel like you have such a great career ahead of you. And well, we're proud that you're Arab. This is the racist side of it.
Yeah,
of
but the
course.
Arabs don't, bro. That's a whole other thing. The when I do anything Arab, man, he's Sudani, man, he's not. Okay, bring me. But if a Masri comes, oh, that's Arab, right?
Bro,
Egyptian. It's like there's a complexion level. If you get a Yemeni who's too dark, sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. Go to Detroit.
You don't qualify here.
Go to Detroit, bro.
Damn.
But still, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But thank you, man. I appreciate you and continue. I hope you continue on your success.
Thanks, man.
And
Appreciate it, bro.
you reach new levels. You have amazing vibes.
So we're doing this podcast right now before you blow up. So when you blow up, you should come back. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah, man.
We have a shake deal on this.
Hell yeah, bro.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you for having me, man.
Of course,
And
man.
let me know who
Of
your
course,
teeth
bro.
guy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually in Toronto.
Okay.
We're not gonna promote him because
He's making too much?
No, he's making too much.
Yeah.
My friends, my family, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow him on social media. We're gonna drop his socials in the description. Make sure you make sure you like, subscribe.
You
and
say
what
suck?
else? Subscribe.
Like, suck, and
like,
share.
suck, and share.
Hey, why not?
Take care, guys. Peace.